Cincinnati Bengals football is almost back. I'm excited. I know you're excited. And look, there's a lot to dive into. Not only are we going to get into the Minnesota Vikings matchup against the Bengals on Sunday at Paul Brown Stadium, but a game by game breakdown right here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. So hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell to get notifications because we're going to have videos all season long. If you're new to the channel, I'm James Rapien, publisher of allbengals.com, and here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk on YouTube. And let's dive right in. I think the Minnesota Vikings have a lot to prove. They have more proven weapons on offense to me. They have the quarterback that isn't coming off of an injury. They do have question marks on the offensive line, much like the Bengals. But the difference to me, Mike Zimmer, Zach Taylor, who are you rolling with? I will take Mike Zimmer. Give me the Vikings in Sunday's season opener. I'm sorry, Bengals fans, and I know I'm wearing the Jungle shirt from Rivertown Inquiry. Shout out to them, but it's okay because even though the Bengals lose on Sunday, in my prediction, they recover and they handle business on the road against Chicago. Andy Dalton, Schmandy Dalton, Blandy Dalton, doesn't matter who's at quarterback. Maybe it is Justin Fields. I'll still take the Bengals at Soldier Field, getting the dub. Burrow's going to be more comfortable, and even against another tough NFC North defense for the second straight week, I think that's the game where we start to see the potential of this offense. Week 3 at Pittsburgh, that's tough. It's a tough one. I have that as a loss. It's going to be a huge challenge going up against TJ Watt, who just signed a huge mega deal, right? It's going to be a challenge to go up against, that defense that really gave Burrow fits last year. And I get it. The Bengals offense should be humming a little bit more. I do think it'll be a close game, but I'll take the Steelers at home over the Bengals. So Bengals 1-2 going into week 4. And this is a Thursday night game that I'll be at. I think a lot of you are attending as well against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think they get it done over Urban Meyer, Trevor Lawrence. This is going to be a close game. This is going to be Burrow versus Lawrence part 2. First time we've seen them since the national championship game. And this is when the offense really needs to be humming. You need to see the best of Mixon. You need to see Jamar Chase scoring touchdowns. And that may happen on Sunday, right? Chase and Higgins and Boyd and all these guys being in sync. But hopefully by then, not only are they in sync, but Trey Waynes is back on defense and they avoid major injuries and can really show off their potential because this team does have a lot of talent, a lot of potential. So I have them 2-2 going back home against Green Bay, or staying home rather, to play Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers. And I'm sorry, but I cannot go against Aaron Rodgers. I think he's motivated. He's the reigning MVP for a reason. You got Devontae Adams. You got Aaron Jones. You got to slow down. Just think it's going to be tough. So I'll take the Packers in that one. And notice how it's loss, win, loss, win, loss, win. Well, I just tipped my hat because the Detroit Lions on the road. I think the Bengals handle business and go 2-2 against the NFC North. They beat the Lions. I think they'll beat them up pretty good. This will be one of those games where it clearly separates because I think national media, they have the Bengals here and the Lions here. Like it's really close. I think the Bengals are going to show it's really like this. And here are the Lions, here are the Bengals. So we'll see if that's the case. Then they stay on the road. This is a tough 3-game road trip. Not that the opponents are extremely tough, and the Ravens, I know they've dealt with a lot of injuries, but on the road against Lamar Jackson, has Lou Anarumo's defense ever been able to slow down Lamar Jackson? Have the Bengals ever been able to slow down Lamar Jackson? Until they do, I'm not buying it. I will take the Ravens in that matchup, which leads us for another road game at New York, the Jets. I think the Bengals handle business there. So again, up, down, as the Bengals win, loss, or loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, and one more game before the bye. I have them losing at home to the Cleveland Browns. I think this is going to be a close game, but Cleveland's such a talented team. Really not many weaknesses on that team. The defense was last year, and the Bengals did. They scored a bunch of points, 30-plus, right, in both matchups. Joe Burrow really outdueling Baker Mayfield, considering what he had to work with and what he had backing him, specifically on that Thursday night game, rather, in week 2. But let's be honest here. The Browns are damn good, and I think that they're going to handle business really hitting their stride as a team, defensively specifically, in that week 9 matchup, So then you got the bye, and right now the Bengals, you're 4-5. You feel okay about where you're at. You've beaten the Bears. You've beaten the Jags. You beat the Lions and the Jets. And then you got Vegas on the road. And I think a lot of people are going to say this is a win. I have it all as a loss. I think the Raiders are okay. Like, I don't think they're bad. They have a good quarterback. Their coach, as big of a star as John Gruden is, I still think he's a good coach, not a great coach, a good coach. And so I have the Raiders in this one, in a close one, but this is really the longest the Bengals have to travel all year. And it matters a little bit. Young teams traveling, it just sometimes you lose a game that you expect to win. I think this is going to be one of those games. So Cincinnati falls to 4-6, but they get off the mat and they handle business against the Steelers at home for the second straight season. I don't think the Bengals are going to get swept by Pittsburgh. I don't. I think they're going to get one of two. I don't think they're going to sweep Pittsburgh either. And they get this one in week 12 to pull within 5-6. And this is when it gets really tough, because Los Angeles at home, the Chargers, 49ers at home. Those are two like dark horse Super Bowl contenders, depending on who you ask. And I have both of those as losses. It's tough for me to see them winning either of those games. So now you're at 5-8 with 4 to go at Denver. I think they take down Teddy Bridgewater in the Denver Broncos. I like the Broncos' skill positions. Obviously, got Von Miller on the other side, and Patrick Surtain, and some really good corners in that secondary. But to me, they're able to handle business there and get to 6-8 on the year with 3 to go. Baltimore, Kansas City, Cleveland. How many more do the Bengals win? Why have them losing to Baltimore again? Swept by the Ravens. I'm not picking them to beat the Ravens until they beat the Ravens, because they haven't been able to slow down Lamar Jackson at all. I mean, you might as well put you out there or me out there to try to guard him, because they just can't stop him. The way he runs and extends plays, and until they do it, you're going to have to prove it, Bengals. And so there you go. You fall to 6-9. And now there's some hot seat questions. And Kansas City probably trying to secure a first-round bye, going up against the Bengals at home in Week 17. And I think that the Chiefs are going to play Patrick Mahomes. Some have suggested that they won't. If I had to predict today, I'm predicting that Patrick Mahomes plays. And so I'm going to take the Chiefs over the Bengals in a close one, because I think Joe Burrow, he's the type of player that's going to rise to the occasion. Jamar Chase, Joe Mixon, they're going to give the Chiefs all they can handle, but come up a bit short. So I have them at 6-10 going into the finale up in Cleveland. And this is a game Joe Burrow wins. He's not going to get swept by Baker Mayfield for a second straight year. I just don't see it happening. I think this is going to be one of the great AFC North rivalries over the next decade. Joe Burrow, Baker Mayfield, both Ohio teams relevant at the same time for the first time since the 80s, when you had Boomer and Bernie Kosar. And so that's where I'm at, 7-10. Am I crazy? Am I dead on? Am I too low? Am I too high? Sound off. Leave a comment. Make sure you subscribe, because either way, even if you disagree with me, I'm going to have plenty of Bengals content coming your way over the next few months, all season long, right here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. So thank you so much for watching. Until next time, I'm James Rapien.